This is your Resvent iBreeze CPAP machine. To get started, you're just going to plug in your power outlet to the back of the machine, and that is placed right here. You also want to make sure that your tubing connection is inserted, and it's right here. It does twist off, so if it ever comes off the machine, you just pull it off and then insert it and then twist it back. The next thing you're going to do, you're going to add water to your water chamber by removing your water chamber, and then you're going to open your lid. You can pull down on the lever here, and then it pulls off. You can insert your water into your water chamber. You'll use distilled water only. You do have a max line. You don't want to go past that little max line. And then you'll put your little lid back on, clasp it back in, and slide it into your machine. The next thing you're going to do is connect your tubing. Now, there is 2 tubing options that you can choose from. We send you a heated tube and a standard tube. With the standard tubing, it's just a regular tubing. With the heated tubing, it helps keep water from getting in your tube. So the purpose of heated tubing is not necessarily to heat the air, but to make sure that when you're running humidity through that tubing, you don't get a lot of water buildup. So to hook up your heated tubing, you're going to insert your power plug into the top like this. And then you do have an on and off switch. It's very important that you turn your heated tubing on at night and then turn it back off every morning. You do not want to leave that where it's heating all day long. It will get warm and possibly overheat, and it just causes the air to be extremely hot. So make sure you turn that off every morning. Make sure you don't get any covers or the tubing under your pillow as well. You're going to connect your tubing right here to the back of the machine. And you're ready to hook your mask to the other end. So your mask hooks right here, and you're ready to go. So now you're ready to put your mask on and power on the machine. You will need to wash your mask, tubing, and your water chamber at least once a week in mild soap and water. Anything that's safe to wash dishes in is safe to wash these items in, such as Dawn, Palmolive, or Ivory. Anything like that is fine. You do have a filter that you are going to replace every 2 weeks. You do not have to wash it. It is on the side. You just pull it out. You replace it every 2 weeks with a fresh filter. So we'll talk about your menu options now. The first one is info. If you press your info button, you can see your usage over the last night. Also, as you use the machine more, you can see that the date is highlighted. When you press in your button again, it will actually give you multiple days here when you've used it more than one day. So it will give you 6 days of detailed data, and then it starts rolling into reports. So you'll get a 7-day, 14, 21, 30, and so on and so forth as you use the machine. This is important so you can see how you're doing. So the first top 3 boxes are really important. The first one is your usage. So we want you to use it at least 4 hours or more for 21 of 30 days for insurance purposes. The second box is how many times you stop breathing per hour, and then the third one is your mask fit. You get 3 full yellow stars when your mask is sealed perfectly. As you lose stars, you are losing mask fit, so you need to make some adjustments. To get out of this menu, you just go back. The next option is your humidifier. So to adjust your humidity, you just highlight humidity and press in your button. You have the option of manual humidity or auto. So in auto mode, it will actually adjust itself depending on your environment. If it's more humid, it won't deliver as much humidity. If it's drier, it will give you a little bit more. So it will just, depending on how your environment is, as to how much humidity you'll receive. However, that does not work for everyone. So if you need to make some adjustments, you'll have to enter the manual mode just by turning your dial to the right, and it will start and take you into a setting of 1 through 8. Generally, I would start around probably 4 or 5 if you're having issues in the auto setting. If you wake up in the morning feeling dried out, stopped up, congested, nose burns or bleeds, you'd want to increase that number. If you wake up with water in the tubing, you would decrease that number. Also, if you're using a standard tubing, you can switch to the heated tubing to help with the water in the tube problem. Once you select your setting, you just press it in and it takes you back to the main menu. The next option is your mask fit. Under mask fit, it will actually help you adjust your mask fitting to make sure that it's sealed off appropriately. So you can put your mask on, come here and press the button, and it will actually tell you if it needs adjustment or if it's sealed correctly. Your next options are comfort. In here you can manage how you like your on and off settings to be. such as your auto on, auto off features, where it actually detects your breathing and turns the machine on and off. The auto on is generally turned on for you when you receive the machine. The auto off is generally turned off, and the reason we do that is if your machine detects, or if you're having a lot of mask leaks with your machine, it detects that you're not breathing on it, so it will turn the machine off during the night sometimes and you will not know. So we suggest that you leave that off until you're 100% sure that you're getting good mask seals with your mask. You do have an IPR setting here. IPR is intelligent pressure relief. So what that means is when you are breathing against the pressure, if it's hard to get used to, you can turn that setting on of 1, 2, or 3. 3 is going to give you the highest amount of relief when you're exhaling. It's not going to be a huge amount. It's just going to be enough where you can tiny bit of relaxation when you're exhaling out from the pressure. You have a preheat option. The preheat is if you're having a lot of problems with humidity, you've made a lot of adjustments, you can't get comfortable. You can put water in that tank about 20 to 30 minutes before you go to bed. Put your preheat on and it'll get your humidifier going before you power on the machine. Normally your humidification comes on when the machine is powered on. Your next option is your P ramp. That should be set at least 4.0. You can raise that to a higher number if your prescription starts at a higher number. The purpose of ramp is just to slowly increase pressure to your prescription pressure, so you're not having the full amount of pressure blowing on you while you're trying to fall asleep. There also is a ramp time option, which is also helpful. The ramp time will allow you to adjust it from 0 to 60 minutes. We usually set those around 20 minutes to start. However, if you feel like that pressure is getting too strong too fast, elongate that time. You want to increase that time frame so it slows down the pressure and it's not so strong as it's starting up. However, if you feel like you're smothering and you're not getting enough pressure, you can turn that off if you want to go straight to your prescription pressure. You have your tube type, which should be indicated on your packaging of whichever tube you are using. And then you have also your mask type, so you set your mask to whatever type of mask that you're using, whether it be pillow, nasal, or full face. And then your last setting on here, under settings, is where you're going to set your time, date, and then connect your Wi-Fi. Before connecting your Wi-Fi, go ahead and make sure your date and time is correct. Just by scrolling down under settings, find your date and time, make sure they're what they are supposed to be, and then go back up to your Wi-Fi option and click on your round knob to go in to the Wi-Fi option. You want to make sure it's turned on. Once it's turned on, you just scroll to search and then press it in, and it's going to start looking for Wi-Fi networks in your home. So generally, a lot of people have 2 different networks, 5.0, which is your fastest network that you usually hook to, but there's also generally a 2.0 or 2.4 gigahertz option. Those are what's preferred for these machines to enable the machine to connect appropriately. So if you have those options, make sure to use the 2.4, the 2.0 gigahertz options. You can choose which network is yours, press in your knob, and then you can just scroll through the letters and enter your password. You do have an up arrow at the bottom that allows you to do capitals. You have an option for numbers here. Once you have entered in your password, you just click join, and it will appear on the screen just a few minutes whether it's connected or it failed. If it failed, you can try again, make sure your password is correct. Also, try the opposite network. If you've already tried one network, you can try the other one. If you still fail the connection, you can try resetting your machine and your router by unplugging your machine and your router for about 15 seconds and then replug, and then you can see if you can find your network and reconnect at that point. If all that fails, it's okay. The machine is still going to store your data on itself, plus it has a SD card. You have your info button that you can report from, and then you also have an SD card slot here on the side that you can just open up here, and it already has a card in it. You just press and it releases the card. And this is back to your main screen. You do have the little leaves on the screen that reflect lungs, so when you have the machine powered on, you will see those move enlarge and get smaller as you're breathing. That's normal for that to do as well. So that's it for getting your machine going. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to give us a call. In your packet, you do have instructions on all your cleaning, how often to change out your supplies. So just give us a call if you need anything at all, and good luck with it.